Hey y'all, it's your friendly neighborhood therapist here with an update. Yes, I'm in my blue puff, took the braids out, and we'll be doing a new color, but that is not what we're here for. So, very important update. Carmelo Anthony, the 17-year-old student in Frisco, Texas, who has been accused of unaliving Austin Metcalf, another 17-year-old student, has been released from jail on bail. So, Frisco track meet stabbing suspect released after bond has been reduced to $250,000 from $1 million. So, in court this morning, his $1 million bond was reduced to $250,000. He will be placed on house arrest, fitted with an ankle monitor, and won't be allowed to use social media. I think that's a really good idea to not even let him be on social media. That's best. Now, here's a little clip from his release.
Karmelo, do you have anything that you'd like to say? Karmelo, do you have anything that you'd like to say to the victims, to the family of the victims? Why were you armed, sweetheart? Karmelo, why were you armed at school? Explain your self-defense. How is this self-defense?
Excuse me.
Karmelo, do you like to say?
All right, so one thing I automatically love about this is that he did not respond to anything. He has probably been told by his lawyer multiple times, keep your mouth closed. And that's a very good idea. Now, the journalists and stuff out there, newscasters, they're doing their job. Some people might get upset and say, why were they in his face? Why were they asking no questions? That is their job. However, he has been told and coached likely not to say a word, and he should not say a word. Everything she asks is what people will be asking him. He should not say a word. So hopefully he knows it is best for him to stay quiet until he is told to speak by his lawyers. Now, that being said, he posted bond, or his family posted bond, and he was released from the Collin County Jail this afternoon. Again, he had nothing to say to reporters who asked what he had to say to the Metcalf family or how was this self-defense. He kept his mouth shut as he should. Now, he has already been fitted with the ankle monitor and he will be on house arrest as he awaits trial. So that means he can only leave his house with prior approval from the court, and he must be supervised by a parent or designated adult at all times, and he is required to check in with the judge's bailiff every Friday morning. Again, he is not allowed to use social media and cannot contact the family of the alleged victim in any way. So the bond reduction hearing began at 9 a.m. with Anthony entering the courtroom in a gold jumpsuit, handcuffed and chained. His father and mother both testified during the hearing. They said Anthony is their oldest child and he has three siblings. The family moved to the DFW area in 2021. He was the captain of the football and track teams, and he had never been arrested before this incident. He has worked at Foot Locker for 2 years and worked a second job at HEB, which is a grocery store down there in Texas. So, Anthony's attorneys originally asked the judge to reduce his bond to $150,000. Given that Carmelo has no prior criminal history and given that this young man has not been in any sort of trouble before, contrary to what a whole bunch of people tried to say and lie about, he has never been suspended to school. He never got caught with a knife at school before. None of that never happened. So there you go. And these are the words of his lawyers. So again, he has not been in any sort of trouble before. 1 million is not necessary, said defense attorney Mike Howard. This family needs to be able to survive. There's been a tremendous amount of pressure. I think at this point, living in a gated community, given everything, the safety of their younger children is very warranted. Security details and criminal defense are not cheap. Howard suggested the ankle monitor and house arrest to give this young man a chance to get out of jail and be with his family. So his lawyer made this suggestion in order for the court to truly consider reducing that bond, in which they did. They did not reduce it to what the lawyer asked for, but they did reduce it significantly. Now, after the hearing, Howard addressed the media outside the Collin County Courthouse, stating, "Every Texan deserves the right to defend themselves when they reasonably fear for their life." Self defense is a protection that applies to each and every one of us. There are two sides to every story. Carmelo is a 17-year-old kid and an excellent student. He is the captain of his track team and the captain of his football team. This is a tragedy all the way around for both families. Howard did not answer questions about why Anthony was armed with a knife. That's an understandable question, but it's not something that we are prepared to go into, he said. It would be irresponsible for me or them to say this is why. We ask that the public, as hard as it is, withhold judgment. Howard said this has been a one sided investigation up until this point, but his team is confident that after a full investigation, the truth will come out. Bond, as the judge said, is not supposed to be an instrument of oppression. It's not supposed to keep people in jail. It's to ensure someone comes to court, Howard said. He believes both sides want the tension surrounding the case to calm down. The other side. In cross examination, prosecutors said Anthony was in an altercation on February 4th in school, and that altercation did not involve law enforcement. They brought up a fundraising page that is operated by Anthony's mother with a $500,000 goal, and it currently has $412,000. Collin County First Assistant Bill Worski asked why they hadn't bonded him out of jail yet if they had more than $400,000. Anthony's parents said it is a difficult process to get the money, and it isn't as simple as giving a phone call to assess it. The family also said a lot of the money has to go to his legal defense. Worski said this appears to be unjustified first degree murder. For reasons unknown, the defendant brought a knife to a track meet for what probably could have been a fist fight at worst. The family could make this $1 million bond as soon as they get access to it. I don't know why we are here. He also said this has devastated two families. Collin County District Attorney Greg Willis called the case a terrible tragedy for not just Frisco, but the Collin County community. We look forward to continuing the process and looking at all the facts of this case, he said to the media outside the courthouse after the bond reduction hearing. We will go where the facts lead us. He said this case has struck a nerve in the community. It is hard for everyone to be level headed at a time like this. It's our job to be level headed, to be fact based, and follow the truth wherever it may lead. Now for a big picture view. Judge Angela Tucker of the 199th Judicial District Court said she learned of this case assignment last Monday, and the cases are assigned at random. She was only presiding over the bond reduction hearing. There will be another random selection for the judge assigned to the trial. Judge Tucker said she's never had the security issues she's faced with this case. She also said during the hearing that this is a bond hearing and not a trial. The purpose of a bond is to ensure the defendant will return to court and to ensure the safety of the community. I don't take that lightly at all. I take those things very seriously, she said. There is no replacement for the loss of life or the loss of a child. I don't want the family to think a bond amount is connected to the dignity of loss. You cannot make the person come back. So, there you have it. All the facts up to this point. He is home with his family. I, for one, am glad about that because if the purpose of bond is to make sure you don't run, he got an ankle monitor. He has to be with a parent or under supervision at all times. He has to check in every Friday. There is no reason, no justifiable reason that that young boy shouldn't be at home with his family awaiting this trial. It's already hard enough. Also, I am very hopeful, based off of what his lawyer said, that once all the facts are laid out in trial, we will then see what really happened and why. And if this indeed falls under self defense, which again I firmly believe it does. And also, I really hope that as this goes further, y'all understand something. The prosecutor or whoever that was at the bond hearing who said, he got in trouble at school a couple of days before, again, there'd be proof of that. According to everything, this boy has a clear record. And it's funny because everything that we know about him goes against the typical narrative that people want to spin about the little thug black boys. Okay? He is in a two-parent home, stable, older brother to two younger siblings, captain of two sports teams, has a marvelous GPA, and held down two jobs, all while playing sports. That goes against the narrative that they want you to think about this young man. But it is up to the prosecution to make him look like the thuggish, ruggish little boy that they want him to be in order for this to be first degree murder. In order for this to be just unjustified first degree murder, he got so angry and couldn't control himself, so he did this. He has to be painted that way. So that's their job. However, it is his lawyer's job to tell the truth, to put out the facts, and to make sure that we get a clear picture of Austin Metcalf. Because although he also played sports and also was a good student academically, it has also been said again and again that him and his brother were bullies. Now, that I'm not going to say is on the record truth, but it is being said by a lot of the students that attend school with them. They are going to call all of these people to be witnesses and to testify in court as they are supposed to. So let these people do their job. Yes, we're going to still be enraged by things and going to still be upset as more and more things come out. But at the end of the day, whatever happens, we all have to be okay with it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if it turns out that Carmelo did this unjustifiably, we got to deal with that. But if it turns out he didn't, can y'all be okay with that? Can y'all not act a fool? Can you do that? Okay. And then another thing I just want to point out is what this judge said, who was over the bond hearing. She said that this is the worst case she has ever seen when it comes to security, needing security. That says a lot to me. This is why we said the racial part of this matters so much. Because you can't make me understand why y'all would be threatening that boy's family, why their address got leaked. There are smaller children in that home. Why is his family at risk? They didn't do anything other than want to love and support and protect their child. That's all they did. Meanwhile, black, white, and otherwise got folks in their family who you saying free them or they didn't do it when they raggedy as hell and did what they said they did and deserve to be locked up. But y'all support and protect them. But you can understand why a 17-year-old boy's parents want to support and protect him. Why can't y'all leave that boy's family alone? And it's not just a select few, because don't run with that. Oh, it's just probably just a few people. They would not be talking about security detail like that if it was just a select few. And that is why, to point out another thing, so many people want the case moved from Collin County. There is no way that he is going to get a fair, unbiased trial in Collin County. That jury pool that they can select from is already tampered with. No, I just don't think it's possible. Y'all tell me what y'all think, but I think it needs to be moved. If it's not, then we can hope for the best. That's all we can do. But on any note, I just want y'all to understand that everybody in this scenario on both sides, they're doing their jobs. They have to paint pictures in order to sway a jury. Our justice system is not about truly being proven innocent or guilty. It's about what you can make them believe. That's from a movie that Jamie Foxx was in. It's not about what you think. It's about what you can prove in court. Basically, what you can make them folks believe. And that's why it needs to be moved out of Collin County. But anyway, neither here nor there. I will make sure to keep y'all updated on any news that comes out about this case. And hey, again, try not to spread any misinformation. Try not to keep spreading these false narratives. That is not helpful to anyone, but especially not to Carmelo. All right, y'all. I hope y'all have a beautiful, wonderful rest of the evening, and I will holler at y'all later.